games, the Rangers were actually 6 games under 500, but they've turned that around. They're 22-10 in their last 32 games, and they really have played well here. They've won 14 out of the last 17, and this now is a place that teams don't enjoy coming into.
Rangers hanging on for dear life yesterday, an 8-7 victory, and that puts them in a position to sweep the Kansas City Royals tonight. John Thompson is on the mound. John Thompson has been outstanding his last 12 or 13 starts. The Rangers and the Royals are coming up next.
In 1969, the legend of Gatorade embarked on an historic journey from the swamp of Gainesville to the battle-hardened turf of the NFL. The baby back ribs weren't the only thing getting basted in the heat of Kansas City.
E.J. Holland, the toughest guy on the team, kept running out of gas.
It was hotter than a Texas tamale.
Salvation came in the ring of the phone.
Ray Graves called me. He was a good friend.
Ray Graves of the Florida Gators said his players were drinking this stuff called Gatorade.
That Gatorade really did the job. It was like liquid gold.
Come on, Lenny! Against the heavily favored Vikings in Super Bowl IV, the Chiefs emerged victorious. And the rest is history.
There's no better way to rehydrate athletes.
And today, Gatorade is on every sideline, every down, every game. From boys to men, from one generation to the next, the games never end. And the legend continues.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Weekdays on Fox Sports Net.
Texas Ranger Baseball on Fox Sports Net, brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. By Gatorade, is it in you? By Pennzoil, not just oil, Pennzoil. And by Southwest Airlines, more than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. Welcome to the ballpark in Arlington. The Rangers meet the Royals tonight. Texas has won 3 straight. Kansas City has lost 4 in a row, and John Thompson in with a record of 12-11, going after a Kansas City team that once again needs a victory. Mike Sweeney anchors things, DHing for the Royals. The entire Southwest Airlines lineup featuring Guile and Randa going first, and then Sweeney, who's had a great series, and for the year against the Rangers, he's 12 out of 22. Beltran, a lot more on him coming up. Then Ibanez, Harvey, and Relaford. Angel Baroa and Brent Maine against John Thompson, the former Colorado Rocky, former New York Met. Very happily right now, Tom, a Texas Ranger.
Yeah, John lost his last start to Minnesota, 7 2/3, 8 hits, 6 runs. That was a game the Rangers looked like they had pretty good control of. They had a 5-1 lead after 4, a 5-3 lead after 7, but fell apart late. Prior to that, John had, of course, had the 5-0 4-hit shutout at Chicago. He'd won 5 straight. But over his last 13 games, he's 8-2 with a 3.90 ERA. So he's got a good stretch going. He has really pitched well. Defense for the Rangers: Spencer, Christensen, and Thames in the outfield. Blaylock, Rodriguez, Young, and Teixeira in the infield. Todd Green gets the start, as he usually does against John Thompson, with John Thompson.
Todd Green has actually been catching a lot more lately. This is his 10th start in the last 19 Ranger games. And here we go on a very pretty night in Arlington tonight. 80 degrees as Aaron Guile digs in. He has hit safely in 9 of his last 11. That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it, Tom, he's 11 for 56 in those 11 games, so he's batting 196. So you always have to look at the other team's notes very cautiously when they
I read those notes and tried to figure out how he could have played 11 games and had 56 at-bats. It's a lot of at-bats. I mean, it could happen, but that's that's 6 at-bats in half the game. I guess it's possible.
But I'm trying to figure out if that's a good stat or a bad stat.
I don't think it's real positive if the batting average is below 200.
Yeah, but he's hit safely in 9 out of 11 games. That's good.
That part sounds pretty good. I think if you leave it right there, he'd probably feel pretty good. Let's put it this way. If you were talking to his mom and dad and you wanted to let them know how he was doing, and you said he's hitting 9 out of 11, they'd go, yes.
Oh, good for Aaron.
But then the other part of it, it's below 200. Oh.
Oh, see, there you go. I think he's slumping. One down, first inning. Joe Randa coming up.
Looked like a cut fastball and a beauty right on the inside part of the plate. That pitch was 92 miles an hour. It's a Mariano Rivera type cutter. He keeps throwing that to the left-hand hitters. They're going to have some long nights in that lineup.
Now facing Joe Randa, who is anything but slumping. 15-game hitting streak. Hitting around 470 during that streak. So no matter how you slice it, Joe Randa's hot. One ball, one strike. Joe Randa. Longest hitting streak he has had as a Kansas City Royal. Mike Young trying to chase it down in shallow right. And he will do that for the second out. Well, John Thompson, as you mentioned, Tom, did absorb a loss last time, but that was his first loss since July the 22nd. And ever since he made the adjustment, both sartorially with the uniform pants and the new look from going out of the windup up over his head now, things just really clicking into place for John Thompson. And if he gets Mike Sweeney, we are a firm believer in the new look John Thompson, because Sweeney's another very hot hitter. Against the Rangers this year, 12 out of 22.
Nasty sinker right there.
Sweeney awfully tough to keep off the bases yesterday. A home run, 2 singles, and a walk. 4 runs batted in. And you see the turnaround for JT. Overall, the record 12 and 11. Not bad, not bad. Strikes out Giles, strikes out Sweeney. It's Randa on a harmless pop-up. Royals down in order, and the Rangers coming up. Rangers trying to make it a 4-game win streak. They're taking on the KC Royals tonight, last meeting of the two teams. And let's check the lineup for the Rangers tonight, as submitted by Buck Showalter. Mark Teixeira's got to be in it. He's got a 6-game hitting streak, and sure enough, after Young, Blaylock, A-Rod, and Palmeiro, you've got Tex, then Spencer and Marcus Thames, Todd Green, and Ryan Christensen against a left-hander, slender left-hander with a fun name. Jimmy Gobble is on the mound for Kansas City. He was one of their top draft choices in 1999.
Boy, he looks like he could be pitching in high school right now. That is a youthful face. He won his first couple of starts. In fact, he pitched really well in his first couple of starts. 1 earned run in 12 1/3 innings. But then in his next 3 starts, he's lost 3 in a row. He's given up 18 earned runs in 13 innings. So he's been struggling a little bit lately. One of the Orioles' top young prospects. At Double-A this year, he was 12 and 8 with a 3.19 ERA. Called up straight from Double-A baseball. So he's a youngster with a great future. Might be in the big leagues a little bit before his time right now. But the Royals don't have a lot of choices. They're depending on him to be one of their guys coming down the stretch in September. It'll be a great experience for him.
The Royals have to go home and take on Randy Johnson and the Diamondbacks tomorrow in a makeup game. 2-1 the count to Young, and then they go to Anaheim, Tom. They've got to play 4 games in 3 days out there. They'll make up a game that was rained out in Kansas City. They'll do it in Southern California, so that the Angels don't have to come back on, what would it be, I guess September 29th, the day after the season's already over.
Yeah, that's not ideal, but under the circumstances, there's not a lot you can do about it.
Well, considering the Royals last year at this time were 55 and 81, Tony Pena has to be happy to see 70 and 66. But will he and the Royals see first place again? Chicago playing some very good baseball. Minnesota won today in very exciting fashion. Mike Young creams it into left center field. Beltran going back. At the wall, it's gone!
Happy fan out in center field, and Michael had to count 3 balls and 1 strike, and he took all the way, trying to get on base. Nate Gobble throw a couple of strikes in a row. Well, Gobble threw a strike 3 and 1. A fastball. Michael got a good look at it, and then he came in with a 3-2 fastball, and Michael was ready for it and drove it out of the ballpark to left field. They made him throw 6 pitches, worked the count, and ended up with a home run to go along with it.
And hopefully slamming out of a slump. Blaylock takes outside.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Right down the middle for strike 2. Michael taking all the way. And there's the 3-2 pitch, the exact same pitch. Now you have to think seeing one right before it gave him a pretty good idea.
Kind of like Lance Nix checking out the curveball yesterday before walloping curveball number 2 for a home run.
Yeah, if Lance got the same curveball for strike 3 that he did for strike 2, he might not have hit the home run.
Well, after the Blaylock out, here's the defense.
We got Ibanez in left, Guile in right, Beltran in center. Beltran nursing a sore elbow, throwing elbow, and a bad knee. Rand at third, Harvey at first, Baroa, Relaford, the double play combination, and Brett Mays behind the plate. Guile, a player with 9 assists out in right field. But now, Josh, I made the comment about Beltran last night. He threw a ball in softly from left center field to the cutoff man. And I used the phrase that he lollipopped the ball in. Well, in Beltran's defense, he does have a bad elbow, and he really can't throw right now. He's playing with a lot of pain in his elbow, and he's playing with a lot of pain in his knee, evidently. So he's trying to guts it out and play in September hurt.
That led to a curious situation late in the game yesterday. As A-Rod takes a look, and he's down 1-2. As it turned out, the Royals had made a stealth defensive replacement that nobody knew about. Not even Buck Showalter, not the official scorer at the time, not the broadcasters. David DeJesus went in to play center field, as it turned out, in the bottom of the 8th inning. A-Rod waves, doesn't get it, and he'll simply be tagged out here by Maine. But yeah, DeJesus actually made his major league debut, and nobody knew it at the time.
Yeah, for the people that are scoring at home, Guile did not pinch hit for Beltran. Pinch hit for someone we didn't even know was in the game.
And Buck Showalter actually asked the umpires after the game, hey, did you guys know there was a center fielder out there that, I mean, nobody seemed to know. And as it turned out, a moot point. The Rangers won the game 8-7.
Well, I was pretty embarrassed about not knowing that a player was actually in the game. And even though you have to still feel that way because we didn't recognize it, I did feel somewhat comforted by the fact that I didn't find anybody who knew it.
Well, when the umpires don't know and Buck Showalter didn't know, Buck said DeMarlo Hale was the one that tipped him off. So that doesn't look like Beltran in center field.
Oh, so they did know it before Guile pinch hit then?
Well, that's when they started putting 2 and 2 together.
Oh, okay.
Rafi is soaring. Foul ball.
They were more, you know, during the game like that, you just don't look for a defensive replacement for Beltran. Just wouldn't expect him to be out there in place of Beltran.
Guile ended up
be more vigilant tonight, though. Let's see DeJesus try to sneak into this game tonight.
Here he comes. He shoves Beltran out of the way, and he makes a one-hand catch. No, that was actually Beltran. But Mike Young hit a home run over the shoulder of Beltran into the bleachers to give Thompson a 1-0 lead.
The best damn sports show, period. Tonight on Fox Sports Net.
You are looking at the reason the Rangers lead the game 1-0. Michael Young, his 3rd leadoff home run of the season. His 12th home run overall. Now John Thompson against Carlos Beltran to start the 2nd inning.
Well, Josh, the interesting part of Beltran coming out of that game last night is his knee is sore. It has been for a couple of days. But he probably could have stayed in the game and would have stayed in the game if it was a close ball game. But the Rangers had a 5-run lead. I think Tony Pena said, let's get him out of there. Don't risk an injury as long as it's a 5-run game. And as fate would have it, Beltran would have come up in a key part of the ball game after that. So
yeah.
Maybe the message is 5-run games in this ballpark don't mean much.
Yeah, as it turned out, Aaron Guile batting in Beltran's absence struck out. So did Raul Ibanez on 99-mile-an-hour gas from Coco Cordero.
Yeah, it was just a case of Coco saying, hey, I'm in trouble. I'm getting out of this. This is all I've got, and if you can hit it, fine. He threw him 2 straight high fastballs at 99. That was some nice pitching.
Tapped along to Michael Young. Beltran is out, and we go to Jim Knox.
Okay, thank you, Josh. As you and Tom have been talking about, how about the pitching performance of John Thompson after a slow start? He's 8-2 over his last 13 starts. Now, earlier today, I had a chance to talk to Rangers catcher Todd Green about Thompson's recent success.
He just had to figure out that you do have to pitch a little different here. And, of course, he started throwing his curveball again, which he hadn't thrown in a couple of years. And I think that's been the biggest difference.
So 2 big keys right there, the change in leagues. He's just getting used to the American League. Now he has mastered, I think, the American League, and also that big curveball now John Thompson has mastered as well. Josh?
Yeah, a lot of confidence resonating between Thompson and Green as this season's gone along. And I give Buck Showalter credit for pairing those two together right out of the box in spring training.
And I would agree with Todd that John's curveball has made a big difference, but I think his fastball, in addition to that, I think his fastball is better too. I think the velocity on his fastball is several miles an hour higher right now than it was earlier in the year.
Pitching in the hot weather does not bother John Thompson. He is from Sulphur, Louisiana. Just on the other side of the Texas-Louisiana border. Grew up an Astros fan. Nolan Ryan, Mike Scott, and the like. Boy, he is keeping the ball down. And Ibanez able to curl it foul in the seats. It's the first time that Thompson has faced the Kansas City Royals in his career. Trying tonight to become the Rangers' first 13-game winner this season. On the march, Spencer. 2 down. Well, Tom, we mentioned the Royals chasing both the White Sox and the Twins. What a ball game in Minneapolis today. The Twins trailed in the bottom of the 9th. And then on a base hit, trailing 5-4, Dustin Moore was waved home. It looked like he was going to be out by 15 feet. And he barreled into Benji Molina. The ball came loose. As it turned out, Molina broke his wrist on the play.
Wow.
Moore scored. The ball went up towards the first baseline. And a second run hustled in behind Dustin Moore. So all of a sudden, in a blink, it went from 5-4 Anaheim and Moore being out by 15 feet to end the game to a 6-5 Minnesota win. Boy, if you're the Twins and you end up going to the playoffs, you might look back at that play as one of the key points of the season for you. No doubt about it. Rangers get the Twins next, starting on Friday night. 2 balls to strike to Harvey. It's going to be Mickey Callaway Friday against Johan Santana. Saturday, remember, they've got that 11 a.m. game, Central Time. Game that will not be televised. You can hear it on the radio. Hot shot, Mark Teixeira. Terrific play. Boy, the defense just continues to dazzle here at the ballpark in Arlington. And we'll see if Tex can do it with the bat, too, when we come back.
Parcells and the Cowboys take on a Falcon team with something to prove. Fox NFL Sunday returns this weekend.
Rangers up 1-0, and Texas returning home to take on the A's, the Mariners, and Angels for the final homestand of the season. Don't forget, Wednesday, September the 17th, 2 weeks from tonight. That'll be Decker Dollar hot dog night. That's tough to say several times fast. 817-273-5100, the number to call for your tickets. Right now, Mark Teixeira follows a warm round of applause that he just received. He is quickly behind 0-2, but what a play he made on Ken Harvey. One first baseman robbing the other to end the top of the second inning.
That's the wingspan that the Rangers talk about with Tex. Can stretch that arm out. He made a beautiful play.
Down on strikes here, Jimmy Gobble.
Harvey goes the other way with authority. This is not just a soft line drive the other way. This is a bullet. That's the all-out dive to make a nice play. Harvey had a hit that way last time.
Well, even with Teixeira striking out, he is now 14 for his last 26. One of the many hot Ranger hitters right now. Well, Jimmy Gobble comes with a pretty impressive resume. Great numbers at Double-A this season. Spencer lofting one to shallow right. And 2 away. Marcus Thames coming up. And don't forget, after the game, the Southwest Sports Report will air right here. 30 minutes of nightly sports news dedicated to teams throughout the Southwest for extended regional highlights and in-depth interviews. Catch the show that was voted the best sportscast in Texas. The Southwest Sports Report after our game on Fox Sports Net. Just to finish up on Jimmy Gobble, the guy with a fastball, a curveball, and a good change. He debuted with 12 scoreless innings at the big league level, granted against Tampa Bay. But that's 12 scoreless big league innings right off the top. Another high fly ball, shallow right. Giles got another one. The Rangers are down in order. 6 straight retired by Gobble since the leadoff homer by Young. That's the only run in this game. It's still 1-0.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Weekdays on Fox Sports Net.
Rangers up 1-0, and here's what's coming up on the Southwest Sports Report tonight. Obviously, get you ready for the Week 1 kickoff, and we will review whatever ends up happening in this game tonight with the Rangers and the Royals. So far, the only thing that's happened is a Michael Young home run, which is fine with John Thompson. He's got the 1-0 lead here in the third. Facing Desi Relaford. In a slump, 7 out of 58. Batting average down to 260. Alex Rodriguez will wait on it. Sling it across and get him. 7 up, 7 down for John Thompson. Alex Rodriguez leading the American League in home runs, but as we continue to discuss, Tom, just such a smooth fielder out there. So much attention being paid to Alex's offensive capabilities, and you don't blame people for that, but it just seems like sometimes the defense ends up as a footnote.
Except when it comes time to give the Gold Glove away. Then they seem to notice.
There are some slick fielding shortstops, great hitting shortstops in the AL, obviously. One of the slick fielders lost for the year, though. Omar Vizquel will not play the rest of this season. Another ground ball, another slick fielder tearing after it. Mike Young off his back leg makes a fine throw. 2 down very quickly here in the third. On the subject of Michael Young, we will chat with him later. The Dodge Grab Life by the Horns feature. the Rangers so far 16 runs in what, 17, 18 innings now in this series. They haven't had to bat in home nights. 16 runs on 15 hits. Kansas City has been walking a lot of Texas Rangers. A-Rod has walked, what, 6 times in 2 games. Down and in to the catcher, Brent Maine. We mentioned these Royals are heading home. Just a stopover. They got to play the Diamondbacks in that makeup game. Drawing the short straw. Randy Johnson pitches. They go to Anaheim. The Rangers will take off to Minnesota and then Seattle on the second to last road trip of the year. Next Ranger home game Friday, the 12th of September. John Thompson gets Brent Maine 9 up, 9 down. And the Old Spice High Endurance Shower, Sing and Win Sweepstakes returns tonight. Log on to oldspice.com for your chance to win $10,000.
Coming up after the Rangers game on the Busch Light Southwest Sports Report, Troy Aikman checks in about his role in the Cowboys' Week 1 game. Is the UT quarterback controversy causing bad blood?
I hate this guy. I hate it.
All after the game tonight.
Tonight on the best damn sports show, period. One of the all-time greats, Hall of Fame running back Jim Brown. Plus, Bears' new starting QB, Cordell Stewart. How will he pass the test in Chicago? Tonight at 10:30.
So, what do baseball people like about the exciting young Texas Rangers?
Hi, my name is Donovan. I like how they run and score, and they hit the goals, how they pitch, and they're really good, and I like them.
We'll welcome your kids home to see our kids on Dollar Hot Dog Night. For tickets and more baseball people, visit TexasRangers.com.
Ranger Baseball on Fox Sports Net, brought to you by Chevrolet and your Texas Chevy dealer, Chevy Driving Texas. And by Whataburger, just like you like it. Beautiful 80-degree evening tonight. Clearing up. We'll have a great chance to view Mars tonight later on, Tom, when it gets dark up close. You know, Mars is very close to Earth currently.
I've heard.
Does that excite you?
I'm looking forward to have you point it out to me, since I won't know exactly where to look for it.
It'll be that big red thing somewhere in the sky there.
What was it, 60 million miles away?
Yeah, we're to within 60 million, so these are very exciting times.
For astronomers?
Yeah. I, for one, can't sleep at night.
It's not doing a whole lot for me.
Todd Green rips and misses 1-1. Yeah, I'm with you. It's a planet. I've seen pictures of it in the encyclopedia. That's about enough for me. Probably makes me very, very shallow, but you've seen one red planet, you've seen them all.
The only time I was really interested in Mars was I used to watch My Favorite Martian.
I did not know that. Todd Green dumps one in the corner. Todd Green is standing at second base.
See, that's probably before your time.
No, I've seen the rerun, so that and My Mother the Car.
My Mother the Car? I missed that one. And Todd gets a pitch right out over the plate and just rips it down the left field line. Todd goes up there to swing, there's no doubt about that. When he gets a pitch like that, he may not always hit it, but he's always going to swing at it.
What's that guy's name? Ray Walston?
Yeah, Ray Walston.
Here's Ryan Christensen, takes inside. Ryan Christensen.
We should make fun of that, because there are people who are very excited about how close Mars is to us right now.
Oh, no, I'm not making fun. I'm just saying.
I was.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I take it back, because there are people that That's how they make their living, being interested in stuff like that. So I should respect that.
Well, just like people should respect that we make our living watching grown men chase a small white orb around a field.
That's right. That's right. Maybe the same people I'm talking about would make fun of that. So we're even.
I wasn't poking fun. I'm just saying that, you know, you're allowed to poke fun.
Well, I'm taking it back now.
Well, I'll double up on the poking then.
All right.
Let's see if Christensen will try and drop down another. Nope, he'll foul one back. Remember when Ryan Christensen was here the first time? He had a knack for getting the big hit with runners in scoring position. It's one thing he just seemed to do very well.
Well, he's trying to get the runner from second to third with one out. First he tried to bunt him over. The last swing he tried to go the other way. Tried to hit the ground ball to the right side. Ended up fouling it off. Now with 2 strikes, it's a little bit different. If you can get him over, great. But the main thing you want to do is put the ball in play right here.
Christensen has seen time with the A's, with the Diamondbacks, with the Brewers. Now getting his second chance as a Ranger this year. He was a 300 hitter at AAA. He's hit just 183 though in the Texas Blue. Rolls it towards short. And Baroa will play it across for the out. There's a Rookie of the Year candidate right there on Angel Baroa. Mark Teixeira is the Rangers Rookie of the Year candidate.
Texas blasted himself right back into the picture.
Well, he sure has.
It's like he was fading out of it, and he's right back in it now.
The Royals had a Rookie of the Year in 1999. That was Carlos Beltran. The year after, a fellow by the name of Ben Grieve won the award for the Oakland A's. The Rangers Rookie of the Year 1974, Mike Hargrove.
Yeah, the interesting part of the Rookie of the Year race, both Teixeira and Baroa have higher slugging percentages than Matsui from the Yankees. Matsui has all the RBIs and a lot of doubles. But as far as slugging percentage goes, Teixeira and Baroa are ahead of him, and Travis Hafner and Jody Garrett are ahead of them.
3-0 to Young, who remember has already banked a home run tonight. Well, if Matsui wins it this year, that means 3 of the last 4 years the American League Rookie of the Year will have come from the Japan professional leagues. Ball 4 to Mike Young. Hank Blaylock coming up. 2 on, 1 out, a chance to make some noise. Folks, college football Saturday presented by Kyocera returns to Fox Sports Net. A doubleheader, Utah State and Nebraska. Then you've got Indiana traveling to the Great Northwest. They'll take on the Washington Huskies. College football returning Saturday at 11:30 a.m. here on Fox Sports Net. You can go to foxsports.com for the start time in your area. Yeah, the Rookies of the Year recently, before Eric Hinsky last year. We're talking about Sasaki and Suzuki, Ichiro and Kazuhiro Sasaki. Let's review some Bank of America higher standards on Blaylock. Ground ball foul. Yeah, Blaylock's starting to get the hang of this against lefties. That's one thing that we've discussed a lot this year, Tom. The thing that maybe is the one missing piece for Hank is to get that batting average against lefties up in the 250 range.
I just look at that as the years go by as a complete non-factor. Because this kid's got a great swing. He's certainly not intimidated by lefties. We've seen him rip a double down the right field line against Billy Wagner. We've seen what he's done in the last 8 at-bats, a couple of home runs and a double. He'll have no trouble hitting left-hand pitching. You're talking about Rookie of the Year. Probably about a month ago, it would look like Matsui was a shoo-in, but I don't think it's quite that way right now. Look at the home runs. Tex leads with 22. Matsui has 15. And Tex has 7 more home runs than he does. He's 20 RBIs shorter. And when you look at Baroa's got 28 doubles, 15 home runs. Baroa has the same amount of home runs as Matsui. He's hitting for a higher average, and he's playing very well right now at a premium position. Matsui's a solid outfielder, but I don't believe he plays the outfield better than Baroa plays shortstop.
Yeah, but he's doing it in the media capital of the universe.
That's a good point.
Blaylock shoots one foul.
I think if I were voting, and I'm not, but if I were voting and it was close, I would lean toward the kid that was 22 or 23 years old as opposed to the guy that's 27 or 28 years old and had hit 50 home runs in the Japanese league. I mean, I know what the rules are, and they're eligible, but to me, they're not true rookies. And I would pick Matsui if he was far and above, but if it's close, I'm going with someone else.
Blaylock continues a strong at bat against the lefty.
Come on, Kenny. Come on, win the ball.
Mark Teixeira sitting next to R.A. Dickey. And performance enhancement coach Don Kalkstein is a man on the left shoulder of Tex.
Any line drives into the dugout, Donnie will be diving in front of the young players, trying to protect them the best he can, trying to enhance their performance. I mean, if one of those guys gets hit by a line drive, their performance might go down. So to enhance that performance, you got to take one for the team.
You do. Just like Kevin Costner got it done for Whitney Houston in the movie. You got to do that.
Concentrate on those sunflower seeds. Be ready.
A 7th pitch of the at-bat to Blaylock on its way from Gobble. Well, this continues to be a very strong effort from Hank. 3-2. Trying to get it to Alex Rodriguez, who looms on deck. Swing, called strike. And a long at bat comes to an end. Gobble just fired one near the black.
Gobble looks like he has a sneaky fastball. I couldn't tell whether Hank checked his swing or not. The pitch is kind of a borderline pitch. This will tell. Yeah, that's probably far enough to be called a strike. As far as the swing goes, as far as the pitch goes, not sure. It looked like maybe the borderline high and outside strike. But Gobble's, at least in this game, not throwing in upper mid-90s or anything like that, but his fastball has been effective.
We were talking about rookies of the year. Alex Rodriguez was not rookie of the year his rookie season. It was Marty Cordova of the Minnesota Twins.
Was that one of those years Alex didn't have a lot of at-bats?
Exactly.
Wasn't the year he hit 358?
No,
for sure.
Yeah, that year actually Jeter was rookie of the year, but by then Alex technically had been in the year 2 years, parts of 2 years.
He got caught in the middle there. Didn't have a real full season as a rookie.
Well, some of the guys that have been rookies of the year, though, I mean, from Bob Hamlin to Pat Listash, there have been some shooting stars.
The Hammer.
How about Joe Charbonneau of the Cleveland Indians?
The Hammer still had one of my all-time favorite plays. He went racing around first base on it, trying for a double. His helmet fell off, and he stopped to pick it up, and he went back to first base. That was in Kansas City, boy.
It's a real Boy Scout moment.
He just did not want to leave that helmet behind.
How much pitch right here, kid?
On 1-2 to Alex. Oh, he got a piece. Gobble struck him out in the first inning. And Alex has been on base 12 times in the last 3 games coming to this one tonight. So if Gobble gets him again, it's got to be a real confidence boost for the young lefty out there. Looks like he got him. Baroa will shuffle it along to second base. The Rangers do not score. They still lead it 1-0. And once again, we tell you about the Old Spice High Endurance Shower, Sing, and Win Sweepstakes. Log on to oldspice.com for your chance to win $10,000. On a Mike Young home run, let us check the Aflac Insurance trivia question. It was an outside the park home run by Mike Young, but for the inside the park homers the Rangers have hit, in which park have they hit the most? We got the answer for you some point here in the 4th inning. We are just beginning the 4th inning. John Thompson on the mound. He faces Aaron Guile and misses inside. Three strikeouts for Thompson so far. He has not walked a batter, but he does open 2-0 to Guile. If the Royals are scoreboard watching, they've got to be encouraged that the Red Sox have just taken a 3-2 lead in Chicago on a Jason Varitek home run. That game's at the stretch. Guile pounds one into the right field corner. There goes the perfect game as Guile will rumble around to second base. A 2-1 pitch. Ends up being chased by Thames near the right field line.
Inside part of the plate, good hitting by Guile. Kept that ball fair. A lot of times left-hand hitter will pull that ball foul. Played well by Marcus. You don't want that ball to sneak by, otherwise it's a triple.
So the tying man standing at second base, nobody out. Joe Randa not thinking bunt. Not with a 15-game hitting streak. Speaking of streaks, Tom, the Oakland A's coming in tonight, a 10-game winning streak. Pretty impressive, but they have made 5 errors tonight through 3 innings.
Well, Baltimore's lost 9 straight, so they'd like to end both of those streaks.
It might happen because of the Oakland defense. 5 errors so far, and as they go to the 4th, it is 5-0 Orioles.
5-0 Orioles over Oakland, 5-0 Tampa Bay over Seattle. Be a big game for Boston to win in the wild card race.
We don't have a full moon to pin this on either tonight. Ground ball, center field. Aaron Guile coming around. Aaron Guile is going to score. This game is tied on what is now a 16-game hitting streak for Randa.
Randa's now 28 for 60. About 470 in that streak. Just making good, solid contact. He doesn't try to pull the ball, doesn't try to hit home runs. He's just trying to hit a line drive somewhere. It's a good streak right now. Hitting the ball where it's pitched.
Joe Randa's always been the kind of guy, Tom, drives in runs without a tremendous amount of extra base hits.
Yep,
you know,
you're right.
It maybe typifies this Royals team. We talked about it yesterday. They lead the league hitting with runners in scoring position.
Randa's more of a line drive guy, a guy that'll get some.
Oh, Green, almost.
Nice try.
A surprising bunt from Mike Sweeney, only because it's coming from Mike Sweeney. But what an effort by Todd Green.
Gets his glove on it. Hits off the heel of his glove. Great try. Just couldn't hold on to it. Going back to Randa. Randa more of a line drive hitter, more of a doubles guy in the gaps. Hits the ball to all fields. If he gets his pitch, he's certainly capable of hitting a home run, but not a big home run guy. More of a line drive gap hitter. But a good RBI guy.
Infield back at double play depth. They are not sold on this bunt. Sweeney went around. It's 0-2.
Big RBI guy has been Sweeney this year. 455 with runners in scoring position. That's taking advantage of your opportunities. Sweeney's got him somewhere around 300 at bats, 69 RBIs. So you project that over a full year, and you got a lot of RBIs.
Looking for one or maybe two right here. He drives it deep. It bounces up against the wall. And they're going to try. Alex has the ball in shallow left. He fires. It's too late. And all the way to third is Mike Sweeney.
Well, Sweeney was not stopping going around second. If the throw was a throw that could be handled at the plate, they had a great chance to get Sweeney going to third. Beltran, Randa never stopped. He was waved home all the way by John Miserock. And Sweeney, who hit the ball, ends up at third base. The throw is away. Todd Green cannot get over to try to catch that ball because the runner Randa was sliding home. He couldn't get past him.
Runner at third, nobody out. And Thompson's got to figure out a way out of this mess here. He's had a perfect game through 3. 9 up, 9 down, but a double, a single, a double. Runner taking third on the throw.
That's got to be probably an error on Alex on the relay throw that got by Todd Green and allowed Sweeney to go to third.
Alex so proud of the fact that his errors total is still in the single digits. Less wiggle room the rest of the way, though. He's up to a total of 8 for the year. He can afford one more error.
Talking about Sweeney being an RBI guy, hitting .455 this year with men in scoring position. A couple of years ago, he knocked in 144 runs. So he's a big-time RBI guy.
And a very nice guy, too. Known as that around the league. Although that Mr. Nice Guy image took a turn during the summer of 2001. He charged the mound to confront Jeff Weaver, then of the Tigers.
Made pretty good contact, too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Jeff Weaver's a believer.
He picked him up and dropped him to the turf.
That's a baseball, son. Say thank you to Netman. Beltran curls it at a plate, 3-2. But how nice a guy is Mike Sweeney, Tom? The story a couple of years ago, he wrenched his back when he crammed into the back seat of a car so his mom could ride shotgun. And he had to miss a couple of weeks with that bad back. Almost cost him the batting title. Didn't want mom to have to be uncomfortable, so he crammed that big old 6'3.5" body into the back seat of a small car. And I guess when the Royals are 40 games under, it's not a big deal. This year, they don't want Mike Sweeney riding anywhere except up front. They need this guy healthy, too. Beltran, you talked about it. Bad elbow, sore knee.
It looks like Beltran's able to play with a knee. On the ground ball he hit the first time up, he hustled all the way, ran right through the bag. Did not look like he was hurt. I'm sure he feels the pain, but he's able to play with it. He's having a little bit of a problem throwing because of the soreness in his elbow, but he's still able to go out there every day. And you're right, they need him in the lineup. It's the time of year coming down the stretch in September when you're in a pennant race where if there's any possible way you can go out there, you figure out how to do it, especially when you're one of the stars. You just can't replace the big guys in the middle of the lineup, guys like Sweeney and Beltran. And they can play it all. They're going out there.
And the thing about those two guys, Tom, I mean, yeah, there are other teams that have solid 3 and 4 hitters, power hitters. But Beltran and Sweeney, if you add it up, they've got more walks and strikeouts between them, and that's rare for power hitters.
That's pretty good for middle of the lineup.
There's a ground ball that'll get a run in with the infield back. Young to Teixeira, but it's now 3-1. RBI number 85 for Beltran. Updating from Chicago, Tom, 2-2 now. Red Sox and White Sox. That game on to the bottom of the 7th. Fly ball off the bat of Ibanez will get out of play. And we mentioned Minnesota rallied to defeat Anaheim 6-5. Seattle still getting trounced by Tampa Bay 7-0. And again, Oakland with 5 errors committed through 4 innings, losing 5-0 in Baltimore.
Oakland didn't score through 9 innings yesterday. Haven't scored through 4 or 5 innings today. So Baltimore's pitching. Henkin yesterday pitched great. Nothing to show for it.
Yep, Rodrigo Lopez tonight getting it done. We'll visit the National League coming up too. That just continues to be wide open. Ibanez will wave at it, go back to the dugout, 2 down.
And that cut fastball that John's throwing right on the inside corner. Good pitch.
Take you back to the celebration here of Mike Sweeney. I guess you could call that a celebration.
First time I've ever seen a manager beat his star player with a belt for getting an RBI double. You should see something new all the time.
What does he get if he hits a home run?
I guess he strangles him with it. Tony Peña's goal, I'm sure one of his goals, is to keep his players loose. They've not been in this situation before.
Well, beating them about the head and pants with a belt, that'll keep you loose.
It's a new technique.
Tony Peña will get more than a couple votes for Manager of the Year, you got to figure. Although maybe after we show everybody that last incident.
Public opinion may go against him. Brutal manager.
Well, that guy's tough. What a disciplinarian.
Imagine what happens when they strike out.
Alex Rodriguez will make the play across to first. They're getting ready to fire all the vegetables at Alex. 3 runs in the top of the 4th. It's now 3-1.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Weekdays on Fox Sports Net.
Texas Ranger Baseball on Fox Sports Net, brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work. Jimmy Gobble on the mound for Kansas City. Gave up a home run to the first batter he faced, but he has been outstanding since then. You're right, Tom. He looks like he's 16.
That is a youthful face.
He's actually 22. Native of Bristol, Virginia. He's facing the 39-year-old Mr. Palmeiro, who takes outside. Rafi has just crushed left-hand pitching this year. He's got a .300 batting average against lefties with 15 home runs and 150 at-bats. That's 1 out of every 10 at-bats. Although I didn't major in math, I think that's right.
If Rafi was hitting right-handers the exact same way, he'd be having one great season. How many at-bats has Rafi got? 475. He'd be zeroing in on 50 home runs right now.
And for his Hall of Fame career, among the many cool numbers for Rafael Palmeiro, number of at-bats getting close to 9,500. He will take a walk. There's another cool number. He has just tied Pee Wee Reese with 1,210 of those with the bases on balls. We'll find out how much Jim Knox appreciates that. Hello, Jim.
Okay, thank you, Josh. You know what? The Alpha Chi Omegas from SMU on hand for tonight, about 70 strong. Jenny, what's this all about?
We are here tonight for a sisterhood activity, and we are so excited because we love the Rangers.
Very good. You know, a real treat. I scouted this out, Josh and Tom. Look at this, the Sigma News of North Texas. And This is the president right here. What is this? You got the Rushes out here tonight?
Yeah, we got some Russians out here from the University of North Texas.
So they're helping you fetch your hot dogs and beverages?
Yeah.
How about this? We get the Sigma News and the Alpha Chi Megas, a little mixer. Is that all right? Glad we can help. Enjoy the rest of the game. Josh.
All right, Jim, thank you.
Matchmaker.
The Sigma News, where I went to school, Tom, they were the house right next door to us. They used to throw water balloons at us all night. That's why I had no witty rejoinder from Jim there.
What house were you in?
Lambda, Lambda, Lambda. Tri-Lambda. No, I'm kidding. That was from Revenge of the Nerds. Lambda Chi Alpha, actually. Yeah, I was a Tri-Lam. Our mixer didn't go real well. Here's a base hit. Left field, Mark Teixeira. Well, you knew Tex was not going to be kept down tonight. Now has a 7-game hitting streak.
Well, the Rangers gave up 3 in the top of the 4th, and they're making a bid to get them right back here in the bottom of the 4th. Walk and a single.
You have to just talk for a while. I got
all taken aback by that lambda, 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 aren't you?
And the Omega moves. All right.
Oh, you got a little break in the action here.
Yeah, no, I'm under control. Mark Teixeira is a college guy, Georgia Tech. Although, as he reminded us in the pregame show tonight, he spent a few years of his youth in College Station, Texas, and is still a Texas A&M fan to this day. Shane Spencer rockets one to left field, but it's going to go right to Ibanez.
I think that would have hit Ibanez if he never even moved. I mean, you hit a ball that hard, you got a great chance of getting a hit. All it has to do is be a little bit one way or the other, and the outfielder won't have time to get it. That ball was hit right straight at Ibanez.
Let's get you back to the Aflac trivia question. The Rangers with their 20 inside the Parkers. Where have they hit the most of them? 8 of the 20 have been on the road in Kansas City, which used to be a wonderful park for inside the Parkers. Artificial surface and the deep dimensions, but now it's a grass field and the shorter dimensions. Only 3 have ever been hit in Arlington. Marcus Thames takes outside, the count 1-1. Last inside the Parker here, Chuck Knobloch. When he was with the Yankees, 1-2 to Thames, the former Yankee.
When you watch Gobble pitch, along with Jeremy Offelt, you see 2 left-handers, good-looking young pitchers, good overhand curveballs. Royals have to feel pretty good about their future. And there's several other good young pitching prospects, too, in the minor leagues.
Ground ball near short. There's Baroa whipping it to second. 1 on to first. Got the double play. Rangers had 2 on, nobody out, but they do not score. A line out and a double play bounce out. It stays 3-1.
The ballpark resounds as groups of Ranger fans cheer their favorites. Here's a prestigious accounting firm going berserk at a Palmero long ball, and a schoolboy debate team showing their support for A-Rod. Groups of 20 or more get big discounts, so come one, come all. Hey, Buck Showalter's got his favorite Little Leaguers ready for a game. And look, it must be Fan Appreciation Day. We'll welcome your group home to see A-Rod, Rafi, and the Rangers set off some fireworks this summer.
3-1 Kansas City, and folks, you can visit any DFW Starbucks. Get a coupon for $10 off select lower and club level seats. The offer good for any home game. Coupons can be redeemed at the first base ticket office. Just go to TexasRangers.com to get all available info. John Thompson pitching for the Rangers tonight. His 31st start of the year, most of any Ranger this year. Relaford will spin one that Alex drops, recovers, and he gets it.
Helps to have that rock for an arm when you bobble one at shortstop. One thing, Alex and Michael Young at short and second can make all the plays pretty much any way they want. But one benefit they both have is they both have exceptionally strong arms, which helps them make the really tough plays. And it really helps you after you bobble the ball like this to know that you can get that extra on it to get a good runner at first base.
Pitch to Angel Baroa is a good pitch to Angel Baroa. Well, the White Sox now, Tom, up 3-2 on the Red Sox. They are playing in the 8th. Chop ball wide of third. The White Sox have Maglio Ordonez among the many in the race for the AL batting title. That thing could come down to the final at bat of the year.
That's going to be great on the last day if you got 4 or 5 guys within a point or 2 of each other.
Right now you've got 8 guys within 4 points with less than 4 weeks to go. Garrett Anderson, Derek Jeter at the top at 322. Milton Bradley's on the DL at 321. Bill Miller at 321. Garcia Parra at 320. Ordonez 319. Ichiro and Hank Blaylock at 318.
I want to see the managers manage that batting race on the last day of the season. There's so many times you'll see a manager, if a game starts before another game, the guy in the second game will find out what his player needs to win a batting championship and maybe take him out after 2 or 3 at bats. With 5 or 6 guys doing it, not going to be quite so easy.
Sale for Baroa. 2 down in the inning. We've got some karma working for Hank Blaylock, Tom. Our producer Kurt Dykert went into his stainless steel vault at home. Look at that. From 1991. The Julio Franco wristband. I don't know if you can read it, but I'll cover up the Winn-Dixie part and highlight the Dr. Pepper part. It says 1991 AL batting champion Julio Franco at 341. So Hank, good luck. You can get your own wristband for next year if you can pull this out. I guess if Hank takes the lead tonight, that means this wristband's got to go with us on the road, huh?
Yeah. By that last day of the season, you're going to have games played on the East Coast and the West Coast. You're going to have players involved in all the games. Everyone's going to be wondering what the other player did. That's going to be pretty exciting.
That will be cool. Plus all these great races, division races, too. Another strikeout for JT. And the Rangers coming up in the 5th, trailing by 2.
These everyday low fares to your favorite vacation destinations start at just $49.
You are now free to move about the country.
Tonight on the best damn sports show, period. One of the all-time greats, Hall of Fame running back Jim Brown. Plus, Bears' new starting QB, Cordell Stewart. How will he pass the test in Chicago? Tonight at 10:30.
Big 12 pay-per-view event. The Aggies looking to win 2 straight. Saturday, they take on the Utes. The Utah Utes at Kyle Field. Experience Aggie football. What's a Ute? Saturday at 7, pay-per-view. Contact your local cable TV or satellite provider. Now, Todd Green will lead things off against Jimmy Gobble. Todd Green having shaved the soul patch, and he wants feedback, emailers. Did you like the old version, or do you like Todd Green 2.0? Do you like the clean-shaven? Todd says, you know, I can always grow it back. But in his last game, no hits. He blames it on the soul patch, so he shaved it. Ground ball towards short. That quick release that we've come to really enjoy from Baroa. I'm not sure if Todd Green enjoys it a lot, but Baroa has the first out of the inning in the books.
Well, Gobble's had a good curveball in this game. He's gotten several ground balls to shortstop from right-hand hitters on his curveball. His fastball has been anywhere from 88 to 90, right around in there. Kind of a sneaky fastball. Looks like he hides the ball well in his delivery. Turns his shoulder to the hitter, makes it tough for the hitter to pick up his fastball.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's the most famous pitcher with the last name of Gobble
that you've ever heard of
in the history of the game. There have been famous Gables, Clark Gable. There's been a Goebel, right? George Goebel. There's been a Brian Gumble. This is the first Gobble. And he has been very impressive tonight, a three-hitter. Christensen smacks onto the opposite field, fading back on it, Guile, and he's got it.
Kansas City scoreboard watching, you'll notice that David Ortiz just went deep, put the Red Sox ahead of Chicago 4-3.
Boy, back and forth they go. The Royals continue to lead here, though, 3-1. Check out the motion from Jimmy Gobble.
Watch him turn his right shoulder and hide the ball. That makes it tough for the hitter to pick the ball up. The more ball and the sooner in the delivery that the pitcher shows the hitter, the easier it is for him to see it, time it, and hit it. Gobble keeps his body turned, his arm and the ball behind his body with a nice, slow, smooth delivery till right at the end. So probably is pretty tough for the hitter to pick it up.
It was rumored that when the Royals and Rangers were talking trade for Juan Gonzalez, that Gobble might have been one of the guys that would have been coming this way in that deal that never did materialize.
I have no way of knowing if that's true or not, but if it is true, you can see why the Rangers wanted to make that trade so badly.
There's a lot of people, I think, that would love to have Jimmy Gobble in their organization. Just turned 22, as we mentioned. He's got some pretty good stuff. Off the end of the bat, Michael Young trying to drop it into center, and he does. 2 hits and a walk for Mike Young. Mike Young and Hank Blaylock batting 1-2 in the order. Here comes Hank. We followed Hank and Mike around before the game. Check this out. Fox Sports Net, sounds of the game.
Let's play Beltran. Yeah, I felt better. This thing is due. Just give me some easy ones, man. Did you? Oh, man. That thing didn't even get out.
Yeah, it did.
Sat here and watched
that was
it
a
the whole
wall
way.
scraper, dog. It counts.
A wall scraper, dog.
That's the kind of dialogue that goes around the batting cage every day, all the time. Someone hits a line drive to center field, which I think Michael Young probably hit it. Blaylock says to him, "Nice play, Beltran." In other words, yeah, you hit it good, but that's not a hit against Kansas City. Beltran makes that play. And Hank's acted pretty proud of the fly ball he hit. Michael Young makes fun of it, and he said, "Hey, it went over the fence. Doesn't have to go upper deck to count." A little give and take in the batting cage is one of the reasons it's fun to stand around the batting cage and watch guys hit.
So you used to say that to Toby Hara. It was a wall scraper, dog.
No, I never used that. But I can remember plenty of times hitting a home run in batting practice and having Gaylord Perry shagging balls in the outfield scream, "What time is it?" In other words, it's 6 o'clock batting practice. Right. You're hitting your home run. Save them for when the game comes. That was his favorite thing.
hand on that one. It is a long foul ball, though. 2-2. You know, we were talking about the closeness of the race for the AL batting title. Probably the all-timer when the Kansas City teammates went after it. George Brett and Hal McRae back in 1976. Wow, pretty pitch. Hank Blaylock down on strikes, and Jimmy Gobble continues to impress. We've played 5 at the ballpark tonight. 3-1 Kansas City.
The best damn sports show, period. Tonight on Fox Sports Net.
We have no comment for this. We just thought we'd show this to you. It is 3-1 Kansas City as we go to the 6th. Where is the patriarch of this family? There he is. You can tell.
The Hat family.
Say goodnight, Gracie. Oh.
You think that guy thought he was on TV or something?
They got our cue. John Thompson facing the top of the Kansas City order here in the 6th inning. The Royals bunch their runs together. 3 runs on 3 hits in the 4th inning, and other than that, John Thompson has been 12 up and 12 down.
I'll say they bunched them together. Double, single, double in the 4th inning. All 3 hits back to back to back. No walks, 6 strikeouts through 5 innings. So John's had good stuff in the ballgame.
Line drive right field, over the shoulder catch by Marcus Thames.
Nice jump on that ball by Marcus. That ball was a line shot directly over his head. A good jump on it, caught it right near the warning track.
The outfield configuration of Spencer, Christensen, and Thames, in part tonight due to the fact that Lance Nix was away from the team this afternoon attending his grandfather's funeral. Our condolences to Lance and his terrific family. We keep getting a chance to meet more and more of Lance's family. Just a terrific group. Very sad to hear the news about Lance's grandpa passed away 3 days ago. Joe Randa, yes you did. 2 down in the inning.
Well, John's behind 3-1 in this game, but he is throwing well. He has excellent stuff.
Normally we'd have a statistic to accompany this, but that's just literally miles, eons from ordinary. The family that wears those hats together stays together, though, apparently.
They told those kids, if you wear these hats, we'll buy you some cotton candy.
I can wear that, Dad.
Which would you rather wear, the hot dog hat or the chicken hat?
I want great big hat.
A cowboy hat?
Yep, the big orange
That
felt.
really is all hat and no cattle there.
You'd hate to see the cattle.
Some good-looking margaritas, too. When she finishes that one, she'll have a hat. Just hasn't got the courage to wear it yet. It's like they know they're on TV. No, they're yeah, she's got a cell phone.
That's how they know. The one without the hat, that's like cousin Marilyn from the Addams Family. The one normal one. Very high fly ball by Sweeney. Into the crowd it goes. Or was that the Munsters? I guess that was the Munsters. Never mind.
Mel Kiper used to be on the Munsters, didn't he? Little Eddie's grown up to be Mel Kiper.
Well, you're just taking shots at random tonight. That's awesome.
I read that somewhere. That's not me. I stole that. I stole that from somebody.
That's fine. You're insulting astronomy people tonight. Mel Kiper Jr.
When I saw Mel Kiper, the next time I saw Mel Kiper, I had to laugh because he does. He looks just like him.
Look how you've offended poor Todd Green. He's just left. But I'm sick of all these insults. I'm getting out of here.
watching the Hat family. I didn't see what happened to Todd.
Some sort of equipment issue, I would guess. He went in there to get us this promo to read. Tom, you ready?
I'm ready.
The NFL returns to Fox this week. It's doubleheader action, including the Cowboys opener against the Michael Vickless Atlanta Falcons. Check your local listings or go to foxsports.com for the games and times in your area. Now Todd Green has returned. And the 3-1 pitch is a strike. 3-2 to Sweeney. What other pop culture icon you feel like taking a swing at tonight, partner?
It just has to pop into the air. I can't think of them when the pressure's on.
That's ball 4 to Sweeney. The first walk allowed by John Thompson tonight. Beltran will come to the plate. Updating some scores while we have the opportunity. Well, the White Sox and Red Sox keep volleying back and forth. 4-4 game in the 8th inning. Jose Valentin, a home run for Chicago. That ball drilled by Beltran heading down the line. It is a foul ball. Beltran has an RBI bounce out in the game tonight. Remember when he was here in July, he went 9 for 12 against Ranger pitching.
He's a great young player. Nothing on the field that he doesn't do well above average. And he makes it look easy. Hits from both sides of the plate. Good runner. Great base stealer.
30 out of 33 this year. Ripson doesn't get it. 0-2.
Players with 120 or more stolen bases, no one has a better stolen base percentage than Beltran.
Yeah, it's not like this year is just a fluke that he's 30 out of 33. He had 35 straight at one point, spread over 2 years. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Boy, Baltimore's lead on Oakland now is 8-0. Looks like 2 long streaks will end tonight. The Orioles' 9-game losing streak and the A's 10-game winning streak.
And now the White Sox have tied up the Red Sox. That game's going back and forth.
Green blocks 1, 2-2. How about Tampa Bay? A 7-0 win over the Mariners tonight. Yeah, that is worth a drink. A 2-hit shutout for who? Doug who? Weckler? Wachtler?
I think he was a high school pick out of St. Petersburg, if I remember reading about him. Might have the wrong guy, but he was one of their homegrown products.
He just 2-hit the Mariners tonight. Three balls, 2 strikes here to Beltran. The runner will be in motion from first. Thompson trying to keep this at 3-1. Smashed into center field. Sweeney makes a turn, goes to third. Carlos Beltran does it again. And Orel Hershiser out to the mound to have a chat now with John Thompson. There's no action at the moment in the Ranger bullpen. Hasn't been all night.
Bigger bullpen in September than it is during the regular season.
Well, you bet. You got Reynaldo and Rosman Garcia both up. Ryan Drees we saw yesterday. By the way, we have one more addition to the Goofy Hat Brigade. There he is, folks. We go. No, that's you. We go to Jim Knox. Yeah, you. Where's your hat?
How about that? Oh, sorry, buddy. Just wondering why you guys are dressed in hats tonight, Sonia.
Tonight was a hat night.
Hat day. And how do you feel with the big hat, Tex?
I'm kind of embarrassed about the whole thing. I didn't have a choice. I was told that I'm supposed to wear this hat, and this is what I ended up with.
I understand. You South Dakota?
North Dakota.
North Dakota, somewhere around there. How do you?
Well, I like it.
Okay, good enough. All right, guys. Here.
Ask him if all North Dakotans do that, Jim.
Give me my hat.
Do all North Dakotas do that?
No, sir. It's this is not a. I don't want anybody to get a wrong impression about our state. It's a wonderful place to live.
Real quick, how many outs?
2 outs.
Try to get him to say outs.
Whose idea for the hats, Jim? Whose idea?
This was Sonia's idea, Tom. Okay. And she came, you know, we need to put all the hats on her. It was her idea.
Very nice.
Yeah, you betcha.
Fun family.
Thank you, Jim. Foul ball back by Ibanez. Oh. Oh. It's even in this game, 4-4. You know, the one strange thing, though, for Kansas City, at least to this point, Tom, no runners left on base. Again, that's a byproduct of just that one passing rain shower, as it were, for Thompson in the 4th inning. Everything happened all at once. Runner goes first to second. There is a pop-up. And if Green can get it, there will be 2 men left on base. Got it! With a tumble. Todd Green has excited the fans tonight. Even the North Dakotans. It stays 3-1.
Wow. You already finished that big cheese, huh?
Yep.
Huh.
You know, you can always put the rest of yours in your purse and finish it later.
Get big taste in every bite of the Big Cheese, Sonic's biggest burger ever. 2 juicy patties and 3 slices of smoky cheddar cheese topped with crisp bacon and honey pepper sauce. The Big Cheese, only at Sonic. And right now, add a creamy hot fudge sundae for just 99 cents.
Parcells and the Cowboys take on a Falcon team with something to prove. Fox NFL Sunday returns this weekend.
Sonic Slam Inning brought to you by Sonic. The jackpot is up to $1,200 plus tickets to a Ranger game and dinner for 2 at Sonic. Good luck to Donna Sheehan from Cushing, Oklahoma. If a Ranger hits the Grand Slam during this inning, we give away $25 grand. And some home run hitters coming up. Alex Rodriguez, Rafael Palmeiro, Mark Teixeira. They have 40, 32, and 22 home runs respectively. And the Rangers need runs here, trailing 3-1. On the Ford leaderboard, the Rangers trying to fire it up against a lefty tonight. And here's some good news. Both Palmeiro and A-Rod on the list. Most homers against left-hand pitching. Oh, and Alex was trying for one right there. It's 1-2.
It's that sneaky high fastball that Gobble's been featuring to go along with a good curveball.
There it is again. Back-to-back. Doubles up with it on Alex. That's 2 strikeouts for A-Rod tonight against Jimmy Gobble. Let's see what Palmeiro can do. We mentioned his success not just with the home runs, but with the batting average against lefties this year. Breaking ball starts him off. Strike 1.
Well, the other thing Gobble's done is throw a lot of strikes in this ball game. For a young pitcher, young left-hander, pretty good command of his stuff.
Rafael over to second base. Desi Relaford's got it. 2 down. Yeah, he's been aggressive, and this obviously is a Ranger lineup that I'm sure he's aware can score runs. They had scored 15 runs in 16 innings coming into tonight. The only mistake he made was to Mike Young.
First batter of the ball game.
Yeah, it really looked like the Rangers were off and running with that. Boy, another first pitch strike, this time to Teixeira.
Well, he had given up 18 runs in his last 3 starts. That only covered 13 innings. Had lost 3 straight starts. So it's quite a turnaround in a hitter's ballpark against a good hitting team, based on the way he pitched in his last 3 games. I have to give the kid a lot of credit, pitching like he did in his first 2 games.
Well, the Royals have really cornered the market on tall, skinny pitchers. Jimmy Gobble, Mike McDougal, Graham Lloyd. This guy's got the classic swimmer's build. Long and lean like Kevin Brown or Randy Johnson. Over to third, backhanded by Randa. And gets Teixeira by a step and a half. No Sonic Slam winner. The Rangers still being held to the 1 run on 4 hits at the end of 6.
In the big cities and the small towns, at the dance hall and the state fair, Chevy drives your life. After all, Chevys roll off the line right here in Texas. Vehicles you count on every day. And that's why we say Chevy driving Texas.
Try the new Southwest Char Grilled Salad featuring spicy chicken, only at Chick-fil-A.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Weekdays on Fox Sports Net.
Texas Ranger Baseball on Fox Sports Net, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. And by Nextel, now with the coast-to-coast walkie-talkie built right in. Now that's a walkie-talkie. With Tom Grieve, Josh Lewin, Jim Knox roaming the crowd tonight. The Rangers trail the Royals 3-1. 3 runs on 3 hits in the 4th inning for Kansas City. Only 1 other hit. Ken Harvey was robbed of a hit back in the 2nd inning. The condor-like wingspan of Mark Teixeira denied him of a sure single and a right. But John Thompson just continues to pick up where he left off. Ever since he made that adjustment a couple of months ago, the new motion out there. Actually a return to an old motion from a couple years ago. Chop ball, second base. 1 down.
Yeah, John really now has a lot of weapons, a lot of different pitches he can throw the hitters. Earlier in this season, it was pretty much fastball, sinker, and a slider, relatively close in their speeds. Now he can throw a slower curveball. That curveball for strike 2 to Harvey was a hard curveball down in the dirt. Throws a hard cut fastball. He's got a lot of different pitches now. It just gives him more looks for the hitter to worry about and has made him a much better pitcher. There's a little slower curveball at 78.
Desi Relaford twice has grounded to Alex Rodriguez at short. This one is bumped foul. Relaford behind 0-2. Tom, we mentioned the Rangers heading to Minnesota. Mickey Callaway will take the mound on Friday. Saturday, a radio-only game. R.A. Dickey against Brad Radke. The 11:05 a.m. start to accommodate the Minnesota Golden Gopher football team against the mighty Trojans of Troy State University that night. Strike three. Relaford is out of there.
Started him off with a slow curveball for a strike and then 2 cut fastballs right in on the fist.
How many strikeouts you got for Thompson?
I'm with 1 walk and 8 strikeouts.
Yep.
Right on the inside corner. Nice pitch.
Here is Angel Baroa, 0 for 2. Well, we mentioned that 11:05 start time. The last time the Rangers had that AM start at Minnesota, that was a game in which they hit the 7 home runs back in 1986 at a franchise record. 5 of those home runs off a guy we'll see on Friday, Bert Blyleven, former Ranger, now a Minnesota Twin broadcaster. Rangers won that game 14-1. So we'll see if the Rangers, 17 years later, can duplicate that. Launch some home runs off another pretty good pitcher, Brad Radke. Towards the alley in right center, Marcus Thames on the move. Marcus Thames will make the catch, which gets Thompson and the Rangers to the 7th inning stretch.
The herd is constantly migrating, driven by instinct to where the signal is weakest. The antelope live as they always have, man's unwitting accomplice in making coast-to-coast walkie-talkies possible, bred to instantly relay radio signals as they frolic, graze, and even mate across the vast reaches of America.
No, that's not how we did it. Introducing Nextel's coast-to-coast walkie-talkie. Now that's a walkie-talkie.
Crown Royal on the rocks, please.
You know, they say when you're blind, all your other senses become heightened.
Crown Royal. Yes, it's that smooth.
Guys, I think the one on the left likes me.
Love to see those signs at the ballpark in Arlington. Director Dave Burchett will put you on TV if you bring those signs. Almost guaranteed, not quite, but almost guaranteed. Rangers trail the Royals. It is 3-1. The Gatorade game summary featuring Jimmy Gobble, who has pitched extremely well. John Thompson has too, just that one little cloudburst. The 3-run top of the 4th. Mike Young with the home run for the Rangers, and that's been it. Hopefully that'll change now in the bottom of the 7th inning. Shane Spencer, a home run threat coming up. We'll update some more scores for you in this inning too. Shane began this year with the Cleveland Indians. Came over with Ricardo Rodriguez, who is not going to pitch this year, Tom. He's hurt, but is a guy that should figure into the Rangers' plans for next year. He was the Indians' #2 starter at the start of the season.
Yeah, he got off to a good start. It'd be one of those trades that works out well for both teams. The Rangers needed a pitcher. Cleveland was looking more for a power-hitting, right-hand hitting outfielder. And right now, they're both happy with the trade. Of course, the Rangers haven't had any benefits yet, but once the injury goes away, they should see some significant benefits. And Ryan Ludwig had a nice month last month. 5 home runs, knocked in 20 runs. So he's doing a good job for Cleveland.
Cleveland tonight tied with the Tigers 5-5 in the 9th. We'll get you to some National League scores in a second. We've kind of neglected the NL tonight. Spencer hits it high, but not far enough in the left field. Jack in the Box presenting the National League Wild Card Update. And I think wild is the operative word here. The Marlins and the Phillies still tied. We'll update their scores for you. The Diamondbacks got blasted by the Padres 12-0. Suddenly they're 5 back. I tell you, I mean, it could change, but that's the one team I really thought that was going to make a big push right now. Kind of a soft part of their schedule, but the Padres have just been killing them.
Yeah, the Padres have been rejuvenated. They got Phil Nevin back, and Brian Giles in a trade. All of a sudden, a lethargic lineup has turned into a pretty potent lineup.
Well, a 12-0 final. Florida beat the Pirates 3-0. Ugi Urbina got the save for Florida tonight.
Ugi's been doing a great job for Florida.
I'm sorry, Tom.
I was going to say San Diego has Sean Burroughs leading off now, and he's been hot. They're a much better team right now than they were earlier.
Well, you know, people were quick to judge Sean Burroughs last year, just like they were quick to judge Hank Blaylock. Playing third base last year. You give him a second year at the age of 22 instead of 21. Things tend to work out sometimes.
Yeah, generally when kids are so highly touted and universally accepted by the scouting profession, generally those scouts know what they're talking about. And if they get off to a bad start, it can be for a lot of reasons. I think in Sean's case, he had some injuries. Hank's case, he might have been here a little bit too soon. He'd never played AAA ball before. But generally, the talent comes through, and I think that's what you're seeing with both those kids now. Talent, in Hank's case, a great work ethic, a lot of confidence.
Here comes the 100th pitch for Jimmy Gobble. It's a pop-up by Thames. Getting into the crowd. Well, the game of the day in the National League, maybe, Tom, was at Wrigley Field. The Cubs and the Cardinals, great rivalry. Cardinals got out in front 6-0. And the Cubs rallied for a very unlikely 8-7 win. So the Cubs make the National League Central pretty tight. Not that it wasn't tight already. Foul tipped and grabbed by Maine for the out. 6 straight retired by Gobble. Todd Green coming up next. Subject of the Pennzoil protection play, not just oil. Pennzoil almost got this one. But then he did corral this one. This one to center field. However, it is right to Beltran, and the Rangers go quickly against Gobble, who has retired 7 straight and 11 out of 12. The potent Ranger offense being held down tonight, 3-1.
Hey, Bobby. Well, I would rent a car for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Why not get right to the good part? Like Southwest Airlines Rapid Rewards. Forget counting miles. Fly just 4 round trips and get 1 free by receiving double credit when you book at southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
Kansas City up tonight 3-1. And kids, you can be the coolest kid in town when you have your birthday party at a Rangers game. Birthday packages for 10 or more include Ranger tickets, food and beverage vouchers, plus game tokens for the Coca-Cola Sports Park. Have your mom or dad call 817-273-5100. I'll get all the information. The Rangers make a pitching change here. We head to the 8th inning. Kansas City up by 2, and the one-time Kansas City Royal, Brian Schaus, is on for Buck Showalter.
Well, Brian's numbers, as we've been saying pretty much all season long, speak for themselves. A good, solid season for Brian, and boy, a good, solid game for John Thompson. 3 runs on 4 hits. Remember, all 3 of those runs were bunched together in the 4th inning.
Young over to backhand. Nice play, 1 down on 1 pitch.
John really was in command. He had great stuff tonight. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. Can't pitch a whole lot better than that. Got a little better luck, not have as many runs scored, but as far as the stuff goes, that was an outstanding ball game.
Well, doing it to a very improved Kansas City team. Right in the thick of that race in the AL Central. We mentioned last year at this point they were 26 games under 500. This year they are 4 games over 500. They've got a chance for one of the best all-time turnarounds over the last 100-odd years. Schaus missing down too low. The 74 Rangers following the 73 Rangers were one of the best of all time. Billy Martin blazing onto the scene. Of course, Mike Hargrove and some decent players came onto the scene too.
I can remember when Billy Martin took over the ball club at the end of the 73 season. His first speech to the team was, "I didn't come here to improve. I didn't come here to be 500. I came here to win." We all looked at him and said, "Man, you haven't seen the Rangers play very much if you think we've got any chance to win." But, you know, you're right. There were some good players. Fergie Jenkins and Jim Bibby had big years. But Billy had a lot to do with it. He changed the whole way of thinking by the players.
Look, kind of what Buck Showalter is trying to get accomplished here. There you see the turnaround from 73 to 74 was very stark. Mike Hargrove started out sharing time at first with Jim Spencer. Jumped all the way from single-A ball, and as we mentioned earlier tonight, ended up winning Rookie of the Year that year. He hit .323. He was the first native Texan on the Texas Rangers.
Hey, actually, Mike shared time with Jim Fregosi. Mike was the first baseman, or DH. Jim Fregosi was the right-handed part of that complement.
Okay. Another foul by Guile.
Didn't take Mike long after that to get in the lineup on a regular basis, though. Left-hand pitchers didn't bother him at all, but he was coming to the big leagues right straight out of A-ball in Gastonia. Billy Martin gave him the chance to make the team. A lot of good young players on that team. Jim Sundberg, Lenny Randall, Jeff Burroughs, young guys that had good years.
Over towards third, and there is Blaylock. It is going to be close. They got him. And Buck Showalter is coming out to get Brian Schaus. You've got a righty coming up now. And Reynaldo Garcia is going to get the call. Another nice play by Hank Blaylock.
Yeah, we kind of focus on the double play combination of Michael Young and Alex Rodriguez, but you can't forget how well Hank Blaylock has played third base and how much he's improved himself. He's got good hands and accurate arm. And while the double play combination is terrific, Blaylock at third and Teixeira at first can hold their own as well.
Welcome back, Reynaldo Garcia. He will come on for Schaus when we return to the ballpark in Arlington.
I've made a lot of news on the baseball diamond, but if you want to find out about this diamond, you've got to go talk to your doctor.
Ready to try Viagra for the first time? See your doctor and find out if a free sample's right for you.
My doctor says it's right for me. That's why I stay with it. For more information, go to Viagra.com.
Uh-oh, we need more brick. Brick!
I love this job. Acme Brick, proud sponsor of the Troy Aikman Foundation for Children.
I like all kinds of music. That's the usual cop-out. But I also, my favorite bands are Nirvana, Sublime, Pearl Jam.
That was Mike Young grabbing life by the horns, brought to you by Dodge, where we grab life by the horns every day. Joe Randa pops one in the air against Reynaldo Garcia. Love to tell you about him, but the inning is about to end.
Have to wait.
Way to go, Reynaldo. Royals do not score in the 8th. Time for the Rangers to get a couple, or even 3 would be nice when we come back.
Hey, these Ranger fans know how to enjoy a nightly luxury suite at the ballpark. Rusty Greer can tell you it's a great way to watch a game. And he also knows you don't have to be a major leaguer to be treated like one. A fan can reserve a suite for a night starting at under $2,000. Catering, climate control, and you never know who'll stop by for a visit. To book a ballpark suite for your party or corporate event, call 817-273-5100.
3-1 Kansas City. And folks, when you're planning a trip to the ballpark, we invite you to start with TexasRangers.com. If you want to know about promotional giveaways, ticket offers, where to park, Tom Greaves' hat size, find it all, then buy your tickets at TexasRangers.com.
7 5/8.
Oh, see, now nobody's got to log on now.
Curtis Leskanik. Last time he pitched against the Rangers, he had a tough outing. That was the game the Royals were cruising. Paul Abbott had thrown 6 shutout innings, and Alex hit the tremendous home run to get him started.
Lance Nix will pinch hit, and he takes a strike. Lance back with the team now. We mentioned he had to attend his grandfather's funeral today. So this obviously an emotional day for Lance, long day for Lance. He lost a good friend, not just a grandpa.
Lance had the big hit against Leskanik in that game. Hit a low inside slider, pulled it down the right field line, hit a double, knocked in a couple of runs. Leskanik gave up a home run, a walk, and a couple of doubles. That's the day the Rangers got 4 in the 8th. Tied that ball game.
And Tom, you know that Nix can do some damage 0-2. He did that last night.
Yes, he did.
He drove one into the seats in right field. Sweeps this one to second base. Back on the grass, Relaford, 1 down. So it's back to the top of the order, Young and then Blaylock. With Blaylock on deck, we've got to answer this email, Tom, from Rick in Austin, who I think is going to jump off a ledge if we don't answer a Hank Blaylock question for him.
We've got the answer.
This is like the 4th email from Rick tonight. So wanting to know how close Hank Blaylock came to qualifying as a rookie for this year.
That's a good question. I hope you know the answer.
Yeah, I do. 150 plate appearances is the cutoff. And Hank last year had about 180.
So he's pretty close to being a rookie this year.
Young a rip and a miss. Yeah, Hank ended up with 147 actual at-bats, but then 20 walks. A couple sacrifices, couple sac flies. So there,
hit by pitch,
yeah,
maybe?
There is overage. Come back inside now, Rick from Austin. That one just off the plate. It's 1-2 to Young. Rick promises if we answer his email, the Rangers will win. He's got that kind of power. So far, Mike Young has the only RBI for the Rangers, and it came immediately tonight. He was the very first batter for the Rangers, and he homered. Then Jimmy Gobble started grooving. Now they turn it over to Kurt Leskanik. Skips one to the plate.
David Ortiz. That guy's been hot. Another home run.
Here's a Mike Young home run back in the first inning. Looked like a great night starting right there.
Sure did. Remember, Jimmy Gobble had given up a lot of runs in his last 3 starts, and then a home run to start the game. But boy, did he shut the Rangers down after that.
On the ground to short for Baroa. You're right about David Ortiz. His home run in the 10th inning, Tom. As the Red Sox up on the White Sox 5-4. 2 home runs tonight for Ortiz.
He's got 25 home runs.
He used to be a Minnesota Twin. He's kind of helping out the Minnesota Twins tonight by beating Chicago, if that score holds. Blaylock, big cut. For 3 tonight has dropped Hank down to 316 for the batting average, so now 6 points off the league lead. There have been some great races, as we talked about, Tom. The George Brett, Hal McRae race went down to the final fly ball that fell in front of Steve Braun in Brett's final at bat. .1945, Stuffy Sternweiss beat out Tony Cuccinello by .0001. That was a pretty good race. George Kell over Ted Williams a few years later by about that margin, too. That'll help Blaylock. That'll help the Rangers, too, because A-Rod's coming up with a chance to tie the game.
Another close one that Alex Johnson, I think, he beat out. Was it Carl Yastrzemski?
Yep.
By 19 to 320 or something like that.
By a thousandth of a point. 1970.
Former Ranger Alex Johnson.
Well, Alex Rodriguez has won a batting title. He has won a home run title. Home run here with not the score. And Alex does have a home run this year against Mr. Liskonic.
And it was more than a home run. That was the ball that went over the fountain in left field. I'd like to see where it would go in this ballpark. That might have gone into the second deck over the restaurant.
Yeah, you might be right.
It would have come pretty close. It would have at least hit the restaurant.
Alex hitting 2 late night home runs in that game against Kansas City. But that one was definitely the one that you remember. Liskonic wisely stays away. It's 1-1. Two balls, 1 strike. And again, the beauty of having Rafael Palmeiro batting behind Alex Rodriguez. There's no way that Liskonic wants to face Palmeiro as the go-ahead run, so he's kind of got to pitch to Alex. This at bat, your Chevy dealers, key play of the game. Outside edge.
He's going to keep throwing that slider away. Hope that he can get Alex out without having to throw him a fastball for a strike. About Alex in this situation, you can throw him a fastball 6 inches outside, he can drive it out of the ballpark to right field.
That one is slapped towards the right side but foul. What?
It looked like a beach whale going after that ball.
There's our answer to the question, who will Tom Grieve insult next tonight?
Don't show it. I'm sure our camera guy's got it, but don't show the person or I'll really be in trouble. Thank you very much for not showing that. No, that was a person in the back row that dove for the ball, ended up on the cement, and then rolled over to get it.
Alex lines to right. I'll take your word for it.
But we will not show it. Thank you to the cameraman.
Well, the Rangers still trail it. At the end of 8, it is 3-1.
I'm here in the Northwest to promote my Northwest Chicken Salad. It's really authentic with all the flavors of the Northwest, like authentic Northwest fajita-style chicken, roasted sweet corn, black beans, and the Northwest kick of spicy pepper jack cheese and creamy Northwest dressing. Wait a minute, that can't be right. Whoops. I'm here in the Southwest to promote my Southwest Chicken Salad.
Try the Southwest Chicken Salad, one of 3 salads made fresh daily. Coming up after the Rangers game on the Busch Light Southwest Sports Report, Troy Aikman checks in about his role in the Cowboys' Week 1 game. Is the UT quarterback controversy causing bad blood?
I hate this guy right here.
All after the game tonight.
Tonight on the best damn sports show, period. One of the all-time greats, Hall of Fame running back Jim Brown. Plus, Bears' new starting QB, Cordell Stewart. How will he pass the test in Chicago? Tonight at 10:30.
Big 12 pay-per-view. The Oklahoma State Cowboys take on the Wyoming Cowboys. It's all Cowboys all the time. Saturday at 6. As we get ready for the 9th inning, here it is. Ray Garcia tiptoes over. 1 pitch, 1 out. To order that Cowboys versus Cowboys college game, contact your local cable TV or satellite provider. Saturday, 6 p.m. All right, hey, Reynaldo, we don't dislike you. We'll tell the good folks about you. We missed on the opportunity last inning. We've not been able to set your numbers yet this inning, but we're getting there.
He keeps getting them out too quick.
Yeah, 2 pitches, 2 outs going back to last inning. Here is Beltran. He'll send one out of play. Bank of America higher standards. Rosman Garcia, actually, the player of the month for June. Beltran waves and misses, but I'm sure Reynaldo had a great month as well at Oklahoma.
Well, he had a good solid season at Oklahoma, 3.69 ERA. Had 3 starts, 36 relief appearances.
And here are some Reynaldo Garcia numbers for you, as promised.
This is his 3rd time up with the Rangers. Brief numbers while he's been here.
Missing outside to Beltran. Count goes to 2-2. Now the 3rd stint for Reynaldo. We have seen 4 Rosman Garcia stints.
Garcia boys have been going up and down.
That's why the R.E. period Garcia, not just the R. period Garcia. Line drive, foul. And we'll do it again. Red Sox clinging to that 5-4 lead in the 10th. Bottom of it. Well, the White Sox could lose their lead in the AL Central. There's a walk to Beltran. And Buck Showalter is not walking. He is jogging. Ready to make a move here. You've got a lefty, Ibanez, coming up. Then a righty, then a lefty. And the call goes out to Ron Mayhay. He will come on. It is a 3-1 Kansas City lead. We're back in a moment. Ray Garcia will sit it out. Ron Mayhay will enter now, having to face Raul Ibanez in what is a 3-1 game, 1 on, 1 out.
You know, Ron, the last couple of times, been a little bit wild. He's actually walked several batters. But you can't argue with the season that he's having. 2 earned runs in his last 21 innings. A couple of the walks were intentional.
He will toss to first. Beltran again with that sore knee. You're not really sure if he's going to be stealing a base here or not, but better safe than sorry. Infield, a double play depth. It has gone final in Chicago, by the way. The Red Sox over the White Sox in 10, 5-4. So as of this moment, Tom, you've got 3 teams in the Central, each with 66 losses. Chicago, Minnesota, Kansas City. Chicago and Minnesota each 73 in 66. The Royals with games in hand, including this one not yet done tonight. They are 70 in 66. One makeup game will be tomorrow. Randy Johnson and the Arizona Diamondbacks. High pop fly by Ibanez, heading to the crowd. Jay Powell goes to work in the Ranger bullpen. We mentioned there's a righty on deck in Ken Harvey. A lot more bullpen options, as you mentioned earlier, Tom, for Buck Showalter with the roster reinforcements up.
Yeah, you can go lefty-righty for a long time out of the Ranger bullpen. We got 6 righties and 4 lefties.
So we could be here all night, is what you're saying.
Yeah, on certain nights we probably will be.
Thank you, Rosman.
Rosman's quite an entertainer.
Yep, going back to the triple play in April at the Worthington Hotel when he and Mark Teixeira duetted.
That was still one of my best moments of the year when they came out and sang, what was it, Sweet Caroline?
Sweet Caroline.
That was great.
1-2 pitch. Ground ball, that's what you wanted to see. 4, 6, 3. Safe the call at first. Couldn't get it there in time. Fielder's choice will keep the inning going for Kansas City.
Yeah, give Ibanez credit. He got down the line quickly on that ball.
Tigers have beaten the Indians on a walk-off homer by Shane Halter in the 11th inning, native Texan.
Shane Halter had a big home run against the Rangers.
Now Harvey uncoils and he smashes one into left center. There goes Spencer after it. He's got it. How about a little walk-off for the Rangers now? You need 3 in the 9th to make it so.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Give your engine what it wants. Pennzoil with time release protection helps keep engines running stronger, longer. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Look for great savings on Pennzoil at AutoZone.
Texas Ranger Baseball on Fox Sports Net has been brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. And by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Nobody makes whiskey like Jack Daniel's. Now the Royals lead it 3-1 in the bottom of the 9th. We've been talking about these tall, skinny pitchers that throw hard for Kansas City. Here's one of them. Mike McDougal. Only college from which he could have won a letter, Tom, is Indiana.
Well, he's had a good solid season. He had 24 saves at the All-Star break. He's only had 2 since. Hasn't had quite as many opportunities. He had a save opportunity in Kansas City. That was the night Alex hit his 2nd home run of the game into the Kansas City bullpen to take that save away from him. He's got a good arm, as you can see, with 98 mile an hour on the radar gun reading.
6'5", 195 pounds. Facing Rafael Palmeiro. 0 for 2 with a walk tonight.
Wow, that is a nasty curveball. 98-mile-an-hour fastball and a curveball that breaks like that. You can see why he had 24 saves at the All-Star break. Man, it's not fair.
And you can see how that motion, I mean, it's not just the fact that he throws 98/85 with that buckling curveball, but he's all arms and elbows coming at you.
Yeah, he is. But he's got a 4.66 ERA, so it's not like he's been untouchable or consistent.
Upstairs at 96.
He's actually given up more hits than innings pitched, 59 hits in 56 innings. With that stuff, you wouldn't think that would be the case. 31 walks in 56 innings as well.
Rafi tips the breaking ball foul. Last we heard, by the way, in the 8th inning, Wichita and Frisco were tied 1-1. The Rangers AA affiliate up 1-0 in the best-of-5 semifinal series. Ground ball. Boy, they had him played just right. That was
shifted.
Heading into center field, but Baroa was there to grab it. So one down, and for a look at what's coming up tonight on the Southwest Sports Report, let's go live to the studio with John and Randy.
All right, Josh, thanks much. Larry Allen made so much progress in the last preseason game, but this week in practice, he is regressing. We'll have the story. Oklahoma gets past North Texas last weekend. Next up, Alabama. We've got a preview right after the game on the Southwest Sports Report.
All right, guys, we look forward to it. Thank you very much. Mark Teixeira takes outside. Wake Forest against Georgia Tech in this battle here. Little ACC action. Outstanding numbers for McDougal at Wake. You probably already know about what Teixeira did at Georgia Tech. He just absolutely tore it up. In there at 85 following that high 90s fastball, just like the Palmeiro at bat. And the count dips to 1-2. Two down, 9th inning. Well, the Rangers being held to 5 hits tonight. Tony Pena lapping it up.
I'd say Tony's pretty loose.
Yeah, pretty tense pennant race they got going, huh?
Got an out to go in a 2-run ball game. Keeping his coaching staff loose as well.
3 teams will be within 1 game of each other if Kansas City hangs on here. Mike Young, the only Ranger run so far, the leadoff home run back in the 1st. Coming in, the Rangers, as we mentioned right at the top, Tom, had won 14 out of 17 at the ballpark in Arlington. You don't seldom see the Rangers held to 1 run at home.
No, this kind of game is unusual. 9 hits and 4 runs.
The Rangers will drop to 1-43 when failing to score 4 runs in a game. They just do not win these 3-1 kinds of games this year. Of course, one way to change that is for Spencer to walk and for the pinch hitter on deck, Jason Jones, to come up, tie it up. Rangers down to their final strike now, 2-2. Now Jimmy Gobble will be one of the headline stories tomorrow. Kansas City's starter. 7 innings of 4-hit, 1-run baseball in just his 6th ever big league start. Spencer keeps it going. Tying man coming up. Thompson hoping for a no decision in this one. Jones. Three home runs for Jason Jones since coming up. That's in only 63 at-bats. He will take down too low. You've got a guy on deck in Todd Green capable of hitting one a long way. So if Jones can simply get on, that sets it up for Green to be the hero. Boy, remember when Tony Pena was laughing and giggling and smacking his gum 2 minutes ago?
Yeah, 2-0. Good pitcher. Good spot to be hitting in right here. Look for a fastball. He's got a great fastball, but major league hitters can hit that 98-mile-an-hour fastball when they're looking for it, and they get it in their zone.
There you go, left field. Spencer is running with the pitch. He'll go to third. The winning run will come up for the Rangers.
Now that's a case in a 2-run game with 2 outs. The guy's running, let him go. Don't give up a hole. Don't give up your position. Baroa went to cover second base, and a routine ground ball to shortstop rolls into left field for first and third and 2 outs. The run means nothing. And if you hold your ground and don't go to cover second base, you probably make the play. But those 2 steps to his left, let that ball go into left field.
This is McDougal's game to close. He is the closer, all-star closer. But a guy that takes big swings at big-time fastballs is coming to the plate. That's Todd Green. If he gets a hold of one, you've got a walk-off victory here at the ballpark in Arlington tonight. Runner at first base, Gerald Laird for Jason Jones. Laird, a catcher that moves pretty well. Well, Jason Jones did his job, as did Spencer. Remember, the Rangers were down to their final strike with Spencer. The Royals poised to get within a game of first. They need one more out. The fastball. Todd Green was out in front, and he's down 0-1. First time Green has faced young Mr. McDougal. Ground ball, second base. Rangers put up a fight, but they lose 3-1 at the ballpark tonight. The Royals salvage the final game of the series. And despite 7 hits for the Rangers tonight, the only one that ended up as a run was the Mike Young homer. 3-1 Kansas City. Rangers getting set to go to Minnesota now. Coming up next, Troy Aikman checking in on the Cowboys. Rangers coverage and a lot more. We go to Randy McIlvoy and John Radigan for your Southwest Sports Report.